Yeah, yeah. I didn't know the old nigga move like this. Yeah. Say what's up, man? This your boy Charleston White. You see around here, man. Twice as funny. Comedy Lounge right here in Killeen, Texas. Look out, September 15th, September 16th. I'm here right here, man. Yeah, Twice as Funny Comedy Lounge. And I'm gonna be twice as funny. I promise. We out.
I'm just blind man shut. Yeah, I'm feel my way, hoping I don't fall off. So that's all I'm doing. And it's working.
Hi, I'm Sharon Hines with Twice as Funny Comedy Lounge. We're here in Killeen, Texas with the infamous Charleston White. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I'm so glad to have you here in our city. We're so looking forward to, you all can see the screen, September 15th, 16th. It's the big day.
37 shows. So this will be my 37 show.
37 shows?
Yes, ma'am. In less than 1 year.
In less than 1 year. Well, congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
That's phenomenal.
Yes, ma'am.
And we are just so excited to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the comedy game.
I'm a Fort Worth native. Despite what the internet says, I'm not a 53-year-old young handsome black man. I'm a 46-year-old young handsome black man.
All right, you heard it from him. You heard it from Charleston himself. Yes, sir.
Born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas, to
Okay.
a teenage mother. My mother had my brother when she was 15.
Okay.
Had me when she was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched her emerge from poverty.
Okay.
So by the time I began going to grade school, I don't remember growing up in impoverished conditions.
Yeah.
So my mother was a loving black mother.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call my home life and my backstory is that I grew up in what I call a traditional single-parent African-American home in a well-to-do neighborhood with a mother who was God-fearing, who took us to church and tried to instill good morals and good values into her two sons.
Okay.
However, she had to go to work when we got out of school.
Right.
So we lacked the parental supervision and the parental guidance, as well as we lacked a father figure and positive male influences in our lives. So ultimately, because my mother had to work a lot and provided a great home life and financial stable life for us, we was exposed to the cultural influences, right? Gangster rap, gangsterism,
right.
As well as the negative influences of the communities.
Okay.
What we saw, and so both my brother and I ended up being incarcerated as children, as teenagers.
Okay.
So at the age of 14, I became one of the first children in Fort Worth, Texas, to be tried and adjudicated for the crime of murder.
Okay.
So I was sentenced to 12 years under Texas juvenile determined sentencing law, where a kid can be sentenced up to 40 years. So I ended up receiving a 12-year sentence. End up going to Giddings State Home and School. So Giddings is not too far from here, right outside of Austin. So when I got to Giddings, I fell in the class of children in the state of Texas. We're the first generation of children in Texas who was sentenced under this juvenile law that Texas had that was called Texas Juvenile Determined Sentencing Law, where if a kid committed a felony, such as capital murder, attempted capital murder, attempted murder, aggravated kidnapping, arson, sexual assault, and rape, they could be sentenced up to 40 years.
Okay.
Now, in the state of Texas, it's if a kid as young as the age of 10 years old commit any kind of felony.
Mm-hmm.
So we're the first generation of children in Texas who fell under this law. We're the first generation of children who our congressional members started going to our Congress and our state legislation and started asking that laws be strengthened and made it harder against children. So that's where you hear the term in the early 90s, late 80s, when Senator Joe Biden at the time and the wife of President Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, they made a bold statement on the congressional floor that America had children that are now operating in our society, and they called us super predators. So that's where the term super predator. So to make a long story short, I'm a state baby.
Okay.
I was raised by the Texas Youth Commission, which at the time was Texas State Juvenile Justice Department. I spent from age 14 to age 21
Right.
I spent right at 7 years of my childhood in the
Yeah.
juvenile system.
Right.
I got out in 1998 at the age of 21. My record was sealed.
Okay.
So that was one of the benefits. I got a second chance at life. I don't have any felony convictions. I haven't been to prison.
Yeah.
I haven't been in and out of jail. I spent most of my 20s trying to find an identity. And in the process of trying to find an identity, you dibble and dabble in street stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I became submerged in the elements, in the criminal elements of society by our culture, right? The influence of our culture. Once my brain started developing around 25, 26,
Right.
I began to look at the culture and say, that's BS, that's right, that's wrong. As well as I started becoming a father. So that's when my life began to change. At 25, my life completely changed.
Yeah.
So by the time I was 30, I had enrolled in community college, graduated. I got enrolled into Texas Western University into their pre-law program, was studying to become an attorney. 83 credit hours toward a bachelor's degree. Before applying to law school, I started a youth organization called Hyped About Hype Youth Outreach. And this is in my early 30s.
Yes.
Hyped About Hype Youth Outreach. And HYPE is an acronym for helping young people excel.
Okay.
So we started just going back into the juvenile system, working with the kids, somewhat who I thought I was.
Yeah.
And from there, we started working with local churches. I started partnering with, at the time, he was Councilman Dwayne Caraway, ended up becoming the mayor of Dallas. I started partnering with him, and then ultimately ended up landing a contract with the Texas Juvenile Justice Department, where I taught and trained and teached and worked and developed programs for every juvenile system ran in the state of Texas. So I became highly recommended to all 254 counties throughout the state of Texas working with children. So I developed youth curriculums, youth engagement programs, youth development programs, anti-gang cognitive intervention programs for not just gang children, moderate children, to children who's not even just moderate, just at risk of being at home alone. So I started partnering with the United States Department of Homeland Security, doing presentations and trainings at Eastfield Police Academy in Mesquite, Texas. So I would train them on human trafficking situations. So then I began training the state's juvenile correctional officers. I've been on the front page of the American Bar Association Journal from working on laws and legislation in this country. I've been to the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court in 2016, along with different lobbyist organizations to get juvenile life without parole abolished in America. So I've done a lot of work.
Yes, you have.
I came to the internet.
Wow, that's awesome.
I came to the internet.
Really, congratulations. Like, you're being a little, but that is, congratulations to you. I never would have known. I think this story is the story that needs to be pushed.
Yes, ma'am.
Really, thank you.
Greg, Miss Cecilia Abbott knows who I am. Greg Abbott's wife.
Right.
I was a campaign manager for Albert McDaniels, who ran against Senator Nicole Collier. I've done work with Senator Ted Cruz. I've worked with over 50 U.S. congressional members from the United States Congress to Texas state senators in House of Representatives. That's from Senator Harold Dutton to man, you name it. So most people don't know that because I play such a character online.
Right, yeah.
They
That's
can't
what
get
I'm
past
saying.
the character.
That needs to be.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no, it can be. That just narrative needs to be pushed more than.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I would have never known had you just shared that, and I really do appreciate it. And congratulations, and thank you so much from me, myself. The community needs to know this and needs to be shared so that they'll know.
Yes, ma'am. So, man, I work on capital murder and death penalty cases. So when our young brothers catch capital murder and they facing death, I partner with public defender's office. There's a criminal defense mitigation firm called Shannon Ross Defense Mitigation firm. So they partner with me when they have attorneys. There's an attorney by the name of Mitch Nolte. Mitch Nolte is out of Collin County. He's a Caucasian guy, but he's probably the top capital murder death penalty attorney in the state of Texas, if not just in North Texas.
Right.
So I've partnered with them on several different cases. not just on murder cases and capital murder cases, but young brothers who catch robbery cases and they're 19 and 20, but they done had 7, 8, 9 robberies and they're facing 50 years.
Right.
So what they do is they bring me in as a mitigation specialist, expert, and I'm sworn in as an expert because culturally I am on black boys and black children.
Okay.
So I explain to this white jury why this boy deserves 20 years and 15 instead of 75.
Okay.
So initially, they bring me in they get me a pass, you know, from the sheriff's department to go into jail, and I interview this young brother.
Yeah.
And I tell him, listen, I know you got a public defender, but these white people trying to help you.
Okay.
They wouldn't have brought me in if they ain't trying to help you.
Right.
Not all defendants get this. So what I learned from doing this, that as black people, when we get in trouble, we, by law, we're supposed to have a mitigation specialist.
Right.
If we commit a murder,
Yeah.
our public defender is supposed to ask the courts, and the courts pays for this,
Right.
whether we got some money or not.
Okay.
Then we'll see more brothers and more young black children start having a little bit more mercy from the courts, because now the jury understands he's just not a killer.
Right.
He was raised, he was dropped on his head when he was 2, he was molested when he was 7, he was robbed and beat when he was 12.
Right.
He joined the gang when he was 15. The gang initiation, 10 men kicked him in the head.
Yeah.
All of those are mitigating factors.
Yeah.
But we don't know this.
Right.
So had I not got into college and started studying to become a lawyer, I would have never went into this direction. So ultimately, I dropped out of college to start a youth outreach of that nonprofit. After working a nonprofit for 6 and 7 years, after coming back from Washington, D.C., working with the Campaign Fair Sentencing of Youth, I stopped in Baton Rouge, and there's an organization in Washington, D.C. that's called the Annie Casey Foundation. Well, the Annie Casey Foundation is a 501c4 that gives out the grants and all the money to the 501c3s, and they're based out of Washington, D.C. So I stayed at the executive director's house, which was at the time a guy by the name of Bart LeBeau. I had been working with his wife on the juvenile law legislation. So I stayed a few days at his house, and I was looking at his library, his books, and I saw this book that was called "The Revolution Will Not Be Funded." I've never heard that before. I always heard the revolution won't be televised. So I asked him, could I have it? He said, yeah. He gave it to me. And so the book is written by the Jewish Council of something. And the book breaks down the non-profit industrial complex. It's never been explained in that manner. So it's a non-profit industrial complex. And it says why non-profits were created. And non-profit organizations were created to hinder and control social movements after the civil rights legislation.
Didn't know that.
So that's why you see most of your non-profit leaders. That's why black people think I got my non-profit.
Yeah.
Now you're a beggar.
Oh, okay.
Now you're a beggar with a trap laid, because you have to itemize every dollar you get.
Yeah.
But most of us are poor and struggling when we get a non-profit trying to go help poor and struggling people.
Yeah.
I need help to come help y'all. That don't make sense.
Right.
So that's why you see most non-profits begging and asking for money, rather than finding ways and creating ways how to be self-sustainable where they're not a beggar.
Right.
So once I started getting into laws and legislation, and I started meeting people in Washington, D.C., started seeing with Charleston, who are your board of directors? My mama, my friend, my sister.
Yeah.
Huh? That's not supposed to be your board of directors. Your board of directors is supposed to be a working board. Prominent people in the community who can bring and solicit funds. You're not supposed to be asking for funds if you're the executive of a nonprofit.
Okay.
That's why most nonprofit leaders end up going to jail, because they get the money, they go get a car, they're gonna go get. So this is what the book broke down. The book broke down that most people with nonprofits, and you can go from the Goodwill to the YMCA to your church. Most 501c3s spend 90 to 95% paying the secretary, paying the nigga that play the piano, paying pastor, paying your son because he need a job.
Right.
Then you get you a new car.
Yeah.
You see everybody get the money. First thing they get is a new car, new truck. Then they go find a pretty office.
Right.
They put pretty furniture in there. Now they got a copy machine. So 95% of the money goes on overhead and paying salary.
Yes.
Paying lights.
Right.
And only 5% actually only goes to helping
Help the
people. So when I found that out, I stopped my 501c3 and I didn't want to get in bed with the state because President Bush came along later. See, the government and the state and the church was never supposed to get in bed together.
Yeah.
So by way of faith-based initiatives, the state and church got in bed together by way of a 501c3. Churches are not supposed to have 501c3s.
Right.
Because that allows them now for the state and church to now lay in bed together. Okay. You file taxes, people. You keep saying this, we're going to come look at your tax books. So when I found out that most people who have 501c3s are begging for money, and they have to figure out how to pinch the money we give them to pay themselves some money to go help people. Well, we didn't ask y'all to help people. Y'all showed up saying y'all can help people.
Right.
So what I did was I let my 501c3 go, and I started creating youth development programs that I can go train and sell to county probation department. 16-week curriculum that became alternatives to the courts.
Okay.
Rather than sending a kid over here, Your Honor, we got a program over here you can send them to. So I started creating alternatives that made money, not just for me, but it saved the courts. It saved taxpayers money.
Okay.
Rather than sending this kid over here. I started selling barbecue. I started selling T-shirts.
Okay.
I started selling hats. Rather than sitting around asking and begging.
Right. Okay.
Because whoever gives you money controls you. Whoever gives you money controls you. So what ends up happening? All of our black nonprofits are running to the government saying, "Give me some money to come help my people." And you really think they're gonna give you money to help us be stronger than them? So I start looking, and I turn to our people.
Okay.
I'm in this community helping y'all.
Right.
Helping us.
Yes.
Our baby. I'm not going downtown asking them white folk for nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to tell on them niggas selling drugs down there.
Okay.
I'm going to tell on them.
Yeah.
If they don't want me to tell on them, I need some backpacks down here.
Okay.
I need some Christmas toys down here, guys.
Yeah.
That's why they start calling me a snitch. And they start bringing it down now too.
Right.
Because the next step, we go burn it down. I'm going to go get me 5 or 6 men that ain't scared of y'all. We go burn it. Because ain't nobody y'all getting cut. Y'all making all this money.
Right.
That woman car been broke down across the street from y'all dope house for 6 months. Y'all see she got 3 kids. Nigga, y'all ain't sitting down dope fiend over there to fix what she see what need to be fixed on her car. But y'all getting money off her. Okay, I'm going to tell on y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how to make them act right.
Okay.
Yeah, I know how to make them act right. I promise I do. And I ain't scared of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to call the police.
Right. Yeah. I love it. So, how did you transition from that into comedy?
Asking God,
Okay.
wow, getting in the shower, feeling like, man, am I going overboard? Well, no, because I'm not mad at nobody. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I'm acting. So my prayer was, man, God, don't let my heart be hard. Because sometimes I feel like I hate niggas for how the condition,
Yeah.
because of our conditions.
Yeah.
And from what I see in the eyes of children when I talk to children.
Okay.
So my prayer was, God, don't let my heart be hardened toward our own people.
Okay.
So when I'm getting online talking about what I'm talking about and people laughing, I'm saying, F you. Man, I ain't funny. So now I'm being insulting because I think what I'm saying ain't funny, but it's funny to them.
Right. Yeah.
So God said, you asked for what I gave you. This your way out.
Okay.
Go be funny, nigga.
Go be funny. Yeah.
So this so I don't be hateful.
Okay.
I be funny.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to grow past the internet because I saw people couldn't get past the character.
Yeah.
And so I was always the class clown.
Yeah.
I've always been the life of the party. So I had to think. How can I not get boxed in on the internet with this character? They say you funny. I say, okay, nigga, go be funny. So I started trying to be funny, and people started saying I was funnier.
Right.
Well, how do I get on stage? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then by chance, I was booked to perform at the Uptown Atlanta Comedy Corner Club,
many times.
BET weekend.
Yeah.
And I sold out on a Sunday night.
Wow.
First time ever on stage.
And how was that experience?
It was surreal.
Okay.
For one, I got $10,000. And just I'm an amateur.
Yeah.
And so when I was in the dressing room by myself, God said, "You asked for a way out.
Okay.
So go be funny. Go take everything you meant to be angry, because the internet was my outlet, like punching a punching bag.
Right.
Other people's on their line playing like they was faithful husbands and was cheating.
Yeah.
Women playing like they women but secretly hoes.
Yeah.
I came on there to vent. Man,
Right.
F you, itch ass nigga, man, I'm tired of you. Somebody just got shot. So that was my outlet. But that's not who I am.
Okay.
So the internet and the people who watch me helped me create the character Rat Williams. That's my really stage comedy name.
Okay.
Yeah, Rat Williams. So I get to evolve from Rat Williams, Chicken Shit Charlie, and Charleston White on stage. I get to compartmentalize each character.
Okay.
Because the internet helped me grow to become a comedian. They pushed me to this stage.
Right.
Oh, you need to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Right.
So I was paying attention to the crowd. I was paying attention to the people who call themselves my fans.
Right.
They've been guiding me. I don't know nothing about this shit.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're a natural. So.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And so, what I've been doing is what every black boy does when he leaves his mother's house. He be blind man shuffling.
Right.
Because he don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
I'm just blind man shuffling,
Yeah.
trying to feel my way, hoping I don't fall off. So that's all I'm doing. And it's working.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, but
Okay.
it's working.
But it's working. That's
Yes,
what
ma'am.
matters at the end of the day. It's working.
Just hearing you, it's just like it's a moment, and I think that's what people want to see
Yes.
on stage is you just unpeel that thing.
I haven't done the same show. I haven't done the same set twice.
Wow.
If you ask me to do 15 minutes, somehow I do 30. If you ask me to do 30, I do an hour. If you ask me to do an hour, I do an hour and 15. I don't know when to exit stage, and I don't know how to repeat what I did because each crowd give me something different to draw from.
Right.
And so that comes from my experience doing public and motivational speaking.
Okay.
From being in D.C., talking to Congress, talking to a congressional aide, or being in the hood talking.
Right.
Feeding kids, telling them sit down somewhere, nigga. Y'all could act like that. Yeah. So I look out and I can deliver based on what I see out there.
Okay. First of all, when you came in, let's talk about when you came in from the time you walked through the door and you came in, you seen everything.
I got chills. There's not a lot that rattles me. I got chills when I walked in. When I walked on stage, I got more chills. Yeah, and then when I looked out, it's just an energy that's flowing. Yeah. And I got a lot of things right now that I should be excited. That should have me calm, relaxed. Yeah. I got the fight coming up in a couple of days, so man, I got chills coming in.
The fight? Tell us about.
Yeah, I got a fight coming up. I'm fighting some guy by the name of Suede the Plug.
You are fighting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm boxing. Yeah, I'm boxing.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why you've been moving around.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I noticed. I just thought maybe that was just some.
No,
so
ma'am.
tell us a little bit. Where is this happening?
Tempe, Arizona, on pay-per-view.
Oh, wow.
August 26th. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, you say that date again.
August 26th in Tempe, Arizona.
Oh,
it's gonna be on pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to stream.
Who you training with?
My guys out there and Chris Doyle. They got a boxing gym out there. Actually, a whole. They manage NBA and NFL players.
Okay.
Yeah, they got they got their hands in there with the league and stuff. So yeah, they train and develop them guys. So yeah, they've been doing good with me.
Oh,
We got two hometown champions here that box professionally.
Oh yeah.
Here in Columbia.
Yeah. Now, man, coach is a professional boxer. So yeah, They deal with a lot of the sports athletes when they coming in as rookies and amateurs, and some of the ones is already in the league. So yeah, we all excited. Yeah, we all excited about that.
Okay.
Because I don't want this to be the first or the last. I want to do like that white boy Jake Logan, whatever his name is. Let me get me some of them fights in like them. Because ain't no other black people doing it.
Right.
So what they're trying to do is they're hoping that the rappers can get more into this.
Okay.
So they kind of using me as the bait.
Okay.
But rappers just want to kill. They don't want to fight.
Right. Right.
And they don't want to show. They so insecure. They don't want to show that most of them aren't. They ain't as tough as they seem to be.
Yeah.
They can't punch a punching bag.
Okay.
Most people don't know fighting and boxing are two different entities.
Right. We just had that conversation last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people fighting because they mad and hurt.
Okay.
Boxers are boxing because they're trained.
Right.
When they decide to fight, they got skills and training that supersedes a guy just angry and fight.
Okay.
So boxing, teaching a guy how to box who think he know how to fight, humbles him. So you find your baddest guy in your neighborhood and your family who think he tough.
Okay.
Go put him in a boxing gym, and I promise you, he will humble.
Okay.
Immediately. He ain't got to fight nobody. Go punch that bag for 2 minutes. I bet he can't do it.
Okay.
Because most guys don't know. It's totally different.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming out. We're so looking forward to you coming out on September 15th and 16th.
Yes, ma'am.
Charleston White in the House of Twice as Funny Comedy Lounge. Thank you so much.